Hello, hello. How are you? This is Ronnie coming to you live tonight. And I wanted to come live to you tonight to talk about four things. Four things. And I believe these are four things that can transform your life. You include them in your life every single day. You've probably heard of these things before, but I wanted to share them with you because I'm literally going through them this week and dissecting them. If you've heard of them, this is a perfect opportunity to reevaluate them and add them back into your life. Or better yet, if it's new for you, to add them to your life. So um, these four things are really agreements, and the agreements are called the four agreements. The four agreements. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. So let's look up what impeccable means. What does impeccable really mean, right? So basically saying not capable of sinning or liable to sin, free from fault or blame, flawless. So be impeccable with your words. So basically saying do not speak bad about yourself. Do not, be around people that are speaking bad. That's just kind of, I don't know. It just be impeccable with your word. And the funny thing is, I'm pretty good about this, but today was a little bit funny. I was calling myself, something happened and was laughing and saying that, saying to myself, oh, that was an idiot move, or you're an idiot, you're an idiot. And I had to stop saying that, even though it was in fun. But just imagine saying that word over and over to yourself so many times, what you start thinking about yourself. So that's not a good thing to do. Now, the second part of that, be impeccable with your word. Whatever you say, do. This is probably, if anyone know me, when you know me, 99% of the time, whatever I say I'm going to do, I do it. And 99% of the time that I don't do it is due to something that's out of my control, right? So this is huge for me. This is probably one of my number one characteristics of me, traits that I really, I'm really in tune with that. I really think that is so important when someone keeps their word. So be impeccable with your word. That's the first agreement. Now, the second agreement is take anything personally. Do not take anything personally. And what this kind of ties back into, for me, the first agreement, because I believe in that so much, in keeping your word. If there's someone else not keeping their word, then it's a lot harder. It's very hard for me to, well, I would say used to be hard for me to even, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But basically, just say it like this. Someone that does not keep their word. If they're due to pick you up at a certain time and they do not, and they do this over and over again, don't take that personal, because they do that with everyone else. So for me, beforehand, if you didn't keep your word, that was very hard for me to do that. That was very hard for me to do that. And, I would get angry and different types of things. And, if someone said they were going to do something, or if they didn't do the way that I wanted them to do it, that it was wrong, I had to stop, and like I said, I worked on it over the last couple of years. Didn't realize that it was part of these agreements, but I worked on it. And I understand that that's them. That has nothing personally to do with me. I have control over what I do. I don't have control over that person. And as soon as I realize that, I have better relationships with people, because my expectations of people are different. I don't take things personally. I'm not going to say 100% that I'm just perfect in that matter, but I do not take it personally, right? So again, don't take anything personally. That is the second agreement. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. Do not make assumptions. So basically, this is probably clear as, clear as daylight what this means. If there's something that you do not understand, do not assume that whatever someone is saying to you is what they mean. And this kind of ties into me where I used to not ask questions, because if I asked questions, I thought it would, people would think that I wasn't as smart as they perceived me to originally be. And that was the wrong thing to think. That is totally the opposite. Because when you ask questions, you clarify what is going on and you do not assume. Because when you assume, you think that's your belief. That is not the belief of what someone is communicating to you. So really pay attention to that. And again, you know what do they say about assuming, right? So really, that is the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. And the fourth agreement is always do your best. Always do your best. Now, this is do your best in any circumstance that you're under. That could be being sleepy, under chaotic circumstances, under pressure, being sick. Always do your best. And the funny thing about this is, this is something that I've worked on, because some years back when I was not doing my best, I would try to act like I was doing my best so everyone could think that, but I knew deep down that I was not doing my best. And the thing is, you know, when you really truly do your best, for me, it's less stress, less worry. Because say, for instance, today, if I'm doing my best in everything that I do, when I go to sleep, I don't feel stressed. I don't have worries on my brain, because I've done my best in everything that I've done. Regardless of the circumstances that might have happened today, I'm not sitting there beating down on myself and knowing that I could have done better or done my best. So those were the four agreements. Just wanted to go through those because there's something that I am dissecting this week and kind of going through a little bit more in my life this week. And I wanted to share with you just in case you were not aware. And if you were aware of them, that you can revisit them and add them to your life. And again, you can do your own little research about the four agreements, because they're everywhere pretty much. They're in different readings that you catch in different books. So I hope this was helpful to you and that you really pay attention to the four agreements, because I believe that it can transform your life, transform your thinking, and just overall, like I said, your life, in your business, in your personal life, all across the board. So hope to come live to you soon again. All right. And have a great night, great morning, great evening. All right. Peace.